Ta-da!
Yoo-hoo! Hello, everyone. It's nice that now Zoom lets us know when stuff are happening so we know when to start talking. So, hello, everyone. I'm Bella, and here with me, I'm Adela, and here with me is Bella. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I'm shape shifting into you sometimes, as we both have 16. And today we are going to talk about the activations that happen in the Cancer season. So the keys or the gates that activate that are activated by the Cancer sign. So we'll go one by one through them and share a bit about it. And as always, please share your perspective about it because we learn from you a lot. You inspire us to do this video. So dare to share. So hello, Bella. Welcome.
Thank you. So we ended with the 15 because we're doing the Gemini gates, and now we're starting with the 15 and looking at it from a Cancer perspective. So what would you say about this cusp key, the 15, and maybe more in a Cancer perspective?
Yeah, in Cancer we have two cusp ones. We start with 15 and we will end with 56. 15 is one that I love a lot. I have it 2 times in my profile. It's my Chiron, both the personality and the design one in Cancer. So 15 for me, going into Cancer, I think Cancer is a sign of contradictions, and so is 15. And many times when I read charts that contain a lot of Cancer energy, I'm like, oh, party time, because Cancer isn't necessarily what people see out of it the first times. It always has layers. So this is 15 for me too. I think it's a surprising key that has a lot of energy. What I truly enjoy about 15 is the love of life. I think what the connection between Cancer and 15 is this abundance of love and life and just going into that world of emotions. 15 is very alive, at least from my point of view. It goes in that fluorescent type of enjoying life. And Cancers, from my perspective, Cancer is the first water sign. Water is in all of us in a very huge percent. So I guess each of us have a bit of Cancer energy, that kind of stepping into emotions.
Yeah.
What about you? How do you feel the 15?
I love everything you said, and I wanted to just bring up this. So this is the archetype we created for the 64 doors, and it has that feminine. Like I feel like the feminine, which is the second gene key in the 64 doors, and this one that we call the wild woman, I feel like they hang out together. And maybe the second gene key is a little bit more earthy, but this is another quality of the feminine that is they. And also when I feel like this gate, when it stops trying to fit in, that's when the magic comes through. And I think some people that have this key in their chart, they wish they were less extreme or less bubbly or less fluorescent. And for me, it's such a beautiful key. So I feel like be wild, be in tune with the earth. And I feel like that's the thing as well. When the 15 goes into maybe extremes, look at, is your life too artificial? Because that was tends to happen if this gate loses connection with earth, with the elements. That's when I feel like if you live in a high rise and you never really even touch ground, like, and maybe you watch television a lot or you're on your computer, that's when you can kind of get out of sync. So Schumann resonance, like being with water, being with the earth, that's all the things that bring like feminine back to her true nature, which is always changing, but it's not extreme in a sense that is draining in any way. It's actually life-giving. So that's what I would say about the 15.
And it's you said rhythms. I would like to add that in human design, it's in the channel connected to rhythms. 15 with 5. Whenever I see this channel in charts, I'm just so enthusiastic. I love these people so much. How wise they are in attuning with the natural rhythms. They know when to pause. They know when to party. They know when winter is coming. They know when spring is coming. It's I would definitely follow them as a shaman or whatever they can do to get in tune with nature. And the bubbly part, as you see, I'm all bubbles right now. I feel 15 is very alive. And when I did my video about 15, the energy I was in when 15 was in transit was just ecstatic. I was just happy. And I think people having 15 in their charts, you can find them everywhere. You can find them at a classical opera, super sophisticated event. Then you will find them at the flea market. Then you will, they are everywhere. This extreme, from my point of view, is like experimenting with the world. And when I read your article on Unlock Your Design with the wild woman, I was like, yeah, but it's a different kind of wildness, not necessarily like the panther, Black Panther wildness. It's just the aliveness.
Yeah,
so,
and
there you go, 15ers.
I feel like I want to say just one thing about the 15-5 because it's real. Like I am really attracted to all the channels between the G and the sacral because they're tantric, and like that's when I feel that embodied, it's really attractive to me. And in my case, I only have hanging gates there. So I love the electromagnetics. But what happens is that I'm attracted to that 515 as well. So it's in my partner, it's been people that I've dating before. Ashley has, it's like, it's everywhere. And I also then have seen the other side of it. It's like, how dare I think that I can set the rhythm or the pattern? No, they are setting it. And it's just mechanics. So I cannot push an agenda. And it's also not like the way that humans have created time. Like I can't say, can we do this in, 13 days from now? Like, it's something that has to well up through them. And then it's time. They can't even speak about it. It's deeper than that. It's like nature. You can't ask nature what day are the lilies gonna bloom, they're just gonna bloom when it's time.
Yeah.
And I really felt it like on my skin, the mechanics of this channel. And I'm like, there is this assuredness also in it. Like there's nothing on the outside that can change that rhythm. It comes when it's supposed to come.
Yeah, we can learn a lot from them. Yep. So moving forward. So let's dive in the next one. 52, is it?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, the mountain. Yeah.
Oh, 52. Ooh. 52, I have a very personal connection with 52. I don't have it in my chart, but I have 58 in my chart. And my grandma, one of my grandmothers, has had 52 in her life work. And wow, she was a mountain. For me, 52 is just such a dense energy. It's like they are so present in their life. It's that stillness. You can just build a room around them. And I don't have many words to describe it. I will just say a very, very short experience I had with my grandma that for me embodies the 52. I'm a Catholic. My grandma was a Catholic too. And in the Catholic tradition, we have that moment where we shake hands and we say, blessings and peace be with you and so on. So there we were, me and her in her room. She lived alone, lived a long life and was alone for many years. And she was listening to a religious show at the radio as she couldn't walk to the church anymore. And it was me and her in a very small room listening to that, just feeling God there in the room with us. And then when the priest said at the radio, now it's time to give blessings, me and my grandma shaking hands, looking each other in the eye and say like, blessings and may God be with you. It, for me, that's 52. It's like, whoa, that presence and that energy. I can't say much more about it, but that's 52 for me. A monumental presence.
Wow, I love that. Yeah, so this is the
Oh, here it is.
The it has that sacredness to it, it has that sacredness. And what I would say, first of all, here we can see that in the I Ching, it's two of the same trigram, and that's the trigram of mountain. So it is really the mountain. It's really about presence. What I feel in a human design sense is that it's connected to the 9. So here we have the format energy between the root and the sacral. And what's I believe is important is that there is an intent here, but you don't have to climb the mountain in a day. You know, it's more the intent of being the mountain, not climbing the mountain. And even if we look at it from the point of the 9, it's still to, I feel like this is why it comes after the 15 as well, because it's still about loving life. It's still about staying at that little, I don't even know what's on, on the way to the top of the mountain. There are some people camping and you stay there and you live life. And then you find like this interesting like bird, like there's something all the time on the way, and with everything that's on the way up to the mountain, you are in total present with that, whether it's people, whether it's animal, whether it's nature, whether it's just yourself kind of sitting and meditating. You're so present there, and there's nothing else that it's more important than that moment. And that's what the 52 is for me. It knows that right now you are the most important person in the world for me, because yesterday is just a memory. Tomorrow is just a thought. So here is where I want to be grounded and where I want to put that energy. And that's also where I feel like it is connected to the sacral through the 9. So it is about energy. It's connected to the 58. If you have it in the activation sequence, those are programming partners. So it is connected to vitality as well. So stillness and vitality very much go together. Yeah.
And I feel here the energy of the opposites. I think it's very, very interesting here. The opposing sign, astrologically speaking, the opposing sign of Cancer is Capricorn. And many times I feel this activation has that Capricorn energy in it, because Capricorn is like a rock. And many times this type of Cancer has a lot of Capricorn features, that stability, that groundedness, the earthy water. So yeah, I think here we can feel it a lot. Okay.
Yeah. So let's move on to this one. So this
one, the one we love.
Exactly. Well, I never really understood how important Cancer was in my life. But then when I read about the 39, I'm like, this is totally me. And the 39 is tricky in that way, because it doesn't, like at first sight, it doesn't feel like Cancer. It doesn't feel like water so much. And then then you kind of dive into it and you understand that it's all about love. But really, I mean, I'm going to bring up this because this is kind of the glint in the eye that I feel with the 39.
Here is Bella, like, woohoo, 39.
I mean, it is all about liberation, and it's not afraid. Like that's the Cancer thing too. It's not afraid of like moving the waters. It's a provoking energy, but like the thing where I love to look at the 39 from a Cancer perspective is that it's all about love. And it's also that Cancer kind of shell that can actually take the confrontation with the other, because it's worth it in the name of love. Like at the end of the day, what springs out when that whatever protection that is often in the family, 4th house Cancer energy, that's where the biggest transformation is. Because when we stop believing in these old traumas or the things that's been before, and we can just allow it to move, that's when we have the biggest breakthroughs. So that's a little introduction, I guess, to the 39. What would you say about it?
Well, you have it. So 39 is one that I think I find all the people with 39 on the planet. I have 38 3 times in my chart, and I have 55 2 times in my chart. So wherever 39 is, I'm like, come here. Yes, even I had the same sensation that it was a surprise finding out that this was Cancer energy, and I think it shifted my view about Cancer. This is where I started seeing the Cancer as a different sign. I was like, you have some secrets here. My fiance has it in his pearl, so I know this kind of energy between 39 and 55 on our skins. I find 39 to, like the Cancer has that kind of like the claws, many times when I hear that Cancer is shy and Cancer is Cancer sometimes provokes, and it can come with that close the little hands and can just stir stuff, and then they retreat. And many times I feel it's the teaser, because they come and stir you and then retreat and wait to see happens inside you. So depends how this energy feels in everyone. Sometimes it can be provoking, like people with 39 can stir stuff around them in the room they are in the relationship. And depends, I think it depends on the chart of the partner. If you have like a warrior energy, it won't be so bad. If you're very not, it's not for the faint of heart. So depends what kind of chart you have. But on the good side, I think 39 has this ability to awaken the spirit. And this is, for me, my life changed totally after meeting people having 39. Like the blow they gave to my 55 was just amazing. I had continuous revelations after that. So it's an awakening of the spirit. I find that people having 39 do this. Just, it's like they shake you out. Are you asleep? Don't be asleep. So it's a, yeah, I love this energy of the 39. It's, and I don't find it necessarily personal. They don't have something with you. It's, they just want to wake your spirit. So
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
and even if it's individual circuitry, it feels like I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the spirit and it's awakened universally. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe
Mm-hmm.
so. I have so for me, it's my north node and my ascendant in the fifth line and the sixth line of the 39. And my mom had a whole channel. And since I am completely open in my emotional, I feel like when I was a child, I
Mm-hmm.
saw her whole channel and I felt that whole hope and despair. And it was very overwhelming for me. And it's also like she was compromising my 39, my liberation. So it's not until like I'm kind of coming to my own aura, my own relationships, where the other part of it's waking up for me, which is the 38, the 28, and the 39, which is the more splenic part of it. And that's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
rising up to more and more. And how I can see how the Scorpio energy and the Cancer energy, like when you have both these kinds of water in Cancer, and then you have the
Yeah.
deep waters of Scorpio, like there is no apologize. Like you have to dive in, or otherwise there is no purpose with life. So I can
Yeah.
feel that in me. And sometimes I can be, I do have compassion for people that, like you say, it's not for everybody, but I'm not happy if we don't go there, so I can have that
Mm-hmm.
compassion
Mm-hmm.
for somebody. Yeah. And I can even see, the emotional side of it when I was a child was overwhelming for me. So of course the more splenic side, the more existential side maybe can also be, yeah, it's like you say, you need courage to kind of dive that deep.
And what I also, you said about emotions, so the light bulb opened. It's the channel of romance. What I truly resonated with, seeing it from my 55 perspective, 55 is a very romantic princess. So I find that people having 39 have that courage, especially if they have 28, 38, they have that courage to conquer the 55 princess, the freedom. They're like, they know how to do it. They tease you and they do all the techniques till that romantic spirit is awakened.
Mhm.
So yeah, this is the magic of it. Okay, let's move to 53. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
I I think it's my evolution in this life cycle. So from my Saturn return up to 44, it's going to be my life cycle. So I believe it's there sneaking in. And I know a lot of people that have it. I even know of like three or four people that has it as the core wound. Um,
Hmm.
for me, the 53, yeah, I see it with a 54 usually. And it's for me, the immaturity is to believe in a way in something that's already like something that the old power structures, believe in something, or maybe not believe in abundance, not believe in
Mhm.
openness. Um, what would you say about it?
I have 54 in my SQ. Um, my fiance had it. We just did a video about this. I know when I read the article on Unblock Your Design, from my perspective as a 54, it was the first time ever I saw an article where this blend between 53 and 54 was written. I was like, yes, finally someone sees it. So 53, from my perspective, what I learned from it, even if I don't have it, but this transit taught a lot to me, is the importance of of experience, of realizing the rhythms of an experience. 53 teach us this lesson about beginnings, middle, and end. And I find that the immaturity in a way is just related to beginnings. Let's do that, let's do that, let's do that. And then abandoning, like the kid that wants a puppy. It's like, I'll take care of it. And then the puppy is home, forgets about taking care of it. But when they mature, that expansion helps them understand that an experience has more parts. And yeah, I find people having 53 in their powerful state, they don't worry. They are in a state of mind where everything is already there, so you can be in their life. They hug you in their life. It's that type of Cancer energy that's nurturing and gives you access to a garden full of love and affection and everything. It's like the heaven. Welcome to heaven. Pick your your favorite stuff from here. And from my 54, that's a blessing. And I think it's one of the most interesting combinations in a couple, because 54 always wants more, spiritually or materialistically speaking, and 53 has it. It's like, no worries, it's here. Just relax, we have it all. So yeah.
Yeah, I resonate with everything that you're saying. I don't even know if I have anything to add. Well, yeah, maybe that from a human design perspective, like the 42 is the endings and the 53 is the beginnings. And even when people have the whole channel, I sometimes feel like they have taken sides. And that, you know, that's when my Scorpio becomes really, you know, when you see somebody take sides, it's like, it feels like there is some, how do you say it becomes skeptical. Because for me, it's like, you know, if you have 42 and 53, you have the beginnings and the endings, and you have the cycles and the maturation. So if you're only about beginnings or only about endings, I'm like, there is something here, you're not living it all.
Yeah, interesting, very interesting energy, and a very different type of Cancer. This is such a different type of Cancer.
And would it be the abundance that, you know, water kind of penetrates everything? Like, I wonder if the abundance has something to do with that, or love penetrates everything. And that's the immature, like the immaturity can be to not believe in love, you know, to not believe in abundance. Yeah.
I have a neighbor that lives across. She's a Cancer. I think she has 53 in her life work. Everything that she puts in the garden multiplies. She bought some chickens. Now she has so many chickens all over. Everything she plants multiplies. I think 53, that super abundance is like you're living in the garden of heaven. You put something and tuk, 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 many appear. So yeah, even love, they are very nurturing. The Cancer is a very nurturing sign. So yeah, they don't worry. Love is everywhere. Okay, so moving to the last one, 56.
We forgot about 62.
Oh, 62, the one now. Yes. Oh, forgetting about this transit. 62, do you want to start? You have it?
Yeah, I do have it, and it's my North Node on the design side. I feel like the first time I heard about precision being my North Node, and then inspiration, the 51 being my South Node, I'm like, why? Why isn't inspiration? Isn't that the last? How can I go from something so expansive like the Great Mystery to precision? What's wrong? But then I can see I have the 31 in my attraction, and the codon ring of no return is that combination of the 62 and the 31. And I can see that. Like, and also the word for me is power. That's why I speak 6 languages. That's why I come to a place, and it's so important for me to be able to communicate. And I understand the power of communication, of the word. And even what I discern in the world right now, I can smell propaganda. I can smell truth. So for me, it's that precision. And it's also, I guess, about taking in a lot of different languages, cultures, and to be able to translate it in a way that is inspirational. Like, it's, you kind of bring that 61 with you. And that's what I see with all the polarities, whether it's your nodes or not. Like, you always have, it's always a mirror, and the other part comes into the story. So for me, the 62 61 work together. I think Richard Rudd writes in the book in one place that the source of all human disease comes from an imbalance between the 61 and the 62, or, you know, the feminine, the masculine, the receptive, the active. And I really feel that. And that's where the 62, you know, remember that it is about love. It's a Cancer gate. And I know when we were doing the names for it, it became the scientist. But now that when I go back, the name that we were speaking about, and also the Tim Brainard was like kind of voting for, was the heart surgeon. You know, that
Oh, wow.
precision when it comes to the heart.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's very nice. Woo! Nice insight, precise insight. 62 is another key I find in the charts of people I resonate with. I know a lot of Capricorns. I'm a fan of Capricorn signs, so many times I know people having 61 in their life work and 62 in their evolution. For me, this key is so rich. It's so abundant. I keep studying because I'm preparing my own materials about 62, and it's like, oh my God, what's here? Yeah, I feel very strongly about it is 62 has this kind of nose for knowing which words they should put in a phrase. It's like a phrase is a key to decoding something. They have this gut feeling in a way, knowing what words should be put there, like a sacred mantra. And it's like, no, don't put this word, put this one. Don't spell it like that, spell it like this. So for me, it's like a wizard that knows the spells and has the precision. So I find it a very wise archetype, wise with their words, wise with their mind, wise with everything. And it was such a surprise when I saw it's not in the ajna or in the head center, it's in the throat center. I was like, intellect in the throat. Did it fall here? What happened? And I'm still processing. I have a lot going on. Whenever I'm taking in an activation, I'm just, so right now what I feel about it is that it's somewhere in the nose area. So this is how I see it, going it from the head to the throat, and right now I'm just processing it here. So it's like that nose in a way, just that intuition of knowing the right word should be in the right phrase. Yeah.
Yeah, I love what you say. And for me, having it, you know, I do feel like it's a throat gate because it's social. It's almost like this thing they say when a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there who can hear it. Like the 62 is almost like it's saying, what's the point for me of translating these concepts if nobody can hear it? So it has that social, it wants people to, like, I feel like it's a little bit like the 39 in that sense. The 62 loves when people get it, you know? So it's kind of, that's the love of wanting to translate it so that it can feel that people are touched by it, which I think at the end of the day, the 31 as well, which is the leadership, you know, how leadership doesn't exist if you're not heard. So these are the voices of the throat for me. And I also, of course, see what you're saying with the head and the ajna, but it's interesting.
And the people I know having 62 somewhere in their profile are, from my perspective, they are true researchers. They really research. And this is when now you talked about the heart surgeon, I see it in a new way. It's like, wow, they are searching with their heart. It's interesting. So they go very deep into researching, and I find it's that type of Cancer energy that goes deep, the water energy that wants to find the precise information.
And I'm wondering
Okay.
if the 17 is seeing the details, and somehow the 62 is really here to speak the details. There's something there as well with the ajna and the throat, how they are connected.
And I feel, I love the 17. It's an amazing key. I feel that keys or gates or whatever the language is for everyone, keys that are sacred seals, like 17 is, sometimes have a bit of, let's say, difficult part of expressing that energy, of embodying that healer spirit. So when the whole channel is there, it's easier to bring it in the world. Or if someone bridges that channels, it gives you that hand, like, okay, bring that healer spirit. So I think 17 has that brilliant eye that sees everything, and 62 gives the words to that visions they have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 56. 56. 56 is another cusp one. So like 15 starts the Cancer, 56 finishes the Cancer energy, and it's bridging Cancer and Leo. Here I have another personal story about it. For me, 56 is that intoxication with life. They are just, I think it's the last Cancer activation, because it's bringing the maximum of how emotions feel in life, like that intoxication with emotions, how you feel when you're so rich inside. And my personal story with it, I don't have it, and I know few people, quite, yeah, not few, that have it. But my personal story with it is, I ordered the shamanic drum many years ago, and I really hoped it was coming on 31, my purpose. And guess what? One morning I get a phone call that tells me, you have to come and pick your drum. What? At 6 a.m. in the morning. There was my drum coming 1 week earlier without any notice. And it came on the energy of 56. So my drum is made of horse skin, a very energetic drum. So I take the drum, I put it in my car next to me on the other seat, and whoa, what a ride I had. I didn't even open it. It was just sitting there in in its own bag. And I was listening to the music loud. I was driving fast. And at the moment I said, oh, hold your horses. You have to go back, because here stuff are getting too full of life. And several days after that, we were still in the energy of 56. A friend called me, said, would you like to pray the drum for me and have a healing session? Of course. So we went in the most mysterious place ever in Bucharest, where I lived back then. There was no one in the park, just me and her, and some mosquitoes, some 39ers. The moment I started playing the drum, the park became full of people, and they started being around us and clapping and dancing. And I was like, hey, this was a private healing journey. What's happening? So 56 has that energy for me, that party of emotions where people come and enjoy life. And yeah, it was just amazing. It was nothing that I planned. It was just happening. And I was looking at the drum, looking at me like crazy horse. So yeah, this is 56 for me.
I love what you're saying, because we named it a comedian in the 64 doors. So it is about acting, but it's not about, it's about acting that is part of truth, but it's a little bit like the 39 in that sense, that it's going to exaggerate a little bit, or drum a little bit louder so that people can come in and feel the energy. And in human design, we often call it the wanderer, which for me seems more like the 42, the nomad that kind of just sees the cycles of life. This is about truly engaging with life, truly enriching life for yourself, but also for others, just by the way that you are showing up. And I think there is something as well when we have the 11, the Sagittarius energy, the fire energy. There is something here in the archetypes. The 11 is not afraid to go to the underworld. It's not afraid. Like, it sees all the archetypes, and like I said before, it doesn't have a preference. That's why I love the 11. And I feel like that's important to remember. The 56 is not superficial. It wouldn't be bonded with the 11 if it was superficial. It is really there to deeply feel, to have that shamanic drum, or it's not a superficial false comedian. It is to go so deeply into the role so that you even forget that you're acting, because it's that thing that is kind of just bubbling up through you.
Yeah, it was just mind-blowing. It got me on a journey of just the wanderer, just wondering, wow, how this journey is. And yeah,
And I
It's
mean,
a crazy one.
I guess too that is we do feel the Leo energy coming in here, because Leo
Mm-hmm,
is much
mm-hmm,
more about, standing on stage and
mm-hmm.
shining in the sun. So it's we can feel, I mean, really archetypically we can feel how Leo energy is coming in here and mixing with that, with that Cancer, and how beautiful in a way to have both Cancer and, like, to have this, you have those energies in you, and it's
Yeah.
like both want to be expressed. I don't believe that if you are like line 2, up until the middle you're Cancer, but if you have a line 4, 5, 6, you are Leo. Like I feel like
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
everything is in there in the archetype.
Yes, and usually people born on the cusp. I'm a lover of cusp. I know many astrology will just a tomato in me, but I love cusps. People on the cusp will always feel both energies in them. They will be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes I'm moody like a Cancer. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I'm a performer like a Leo. Maybe it's a Cancer that has some lion hair. Maybe we should draw it like a Cancer with a punk hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Is there
this
anything?
was it, the journey.
Is there? We are good in time. Is there anything you want to say to kind of round off, maybe from an astrological sense, that you want to say about Cancer for people?
Mm-hmm. Uh, yeah, I feel Cancer is the gate through emotions. From my perspective, Cancers, people having Cancer placements are the ones that just show us the gate through our emotions. And it's the first water sign, connects us to the first type of emotions we feel inside us. It's friendlier than the Scorpio energy and less universal than the Pisces energy. So many times I feel they might provoke us, Cancers, because it's our first encounter with what's inside us. And what I also feel very relevant is, like I said, the polarity with Capricorn. Many times I feel that even if stuff like, okay, they are lovers of family, they are nurturing and so on, many times that Earth in Capricorn plays a role here. And I found a lot of Cancers to be very organized and very career oriented and very hardworking. So I don't find them cooking all the time and just being there having 12 kids. I find that there is a Capricorn side that keeps them very aware, and they can be great therapists. For example, they can combine emotion with showing you practical ways of using that emotion. So yeah, I find it's an extraordinary sign. It's a very dynamic sign, one of the very dynamic energies. So if you have it in your, like you have it, your ascendant is there, it's a cardinal energy. So whenever this cardinal energy is there, it's about moving something, and emotion is emotion moves something inside you. So yeah, this is my view
Yeah,
about the
thank
Cancer.
you. Yeah, I love to bring in this, the astrology, and I think that I'm not going to say it's missing, but I feel like it adds a layer that is so valuable when we're going around the wheel, especially, like we're doing now, going through the gates, and understand more of, like, what are the energies and the elements that are moving those gates. So yeah, I love doing this with you. Thank you so much, Adele.
Me too. Okay, thank you for watching.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.